Here we go.
Muppet Movie, Scene 1A, Take 1.
It's the masterpiece that started it all.
Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection.
Come along with those lovable Muppets
My name is Kermit the Frog, and I'm on my way to Hollywood.
Moving right along.
as they head off to Tinseltown,
I want you to turn left if you come to a fork in the road.
featuring an all-star, all-rockin' cast. Kermit the Frog,
I hope you appreciate that I'm doing all my own stunts. Waka waka waka!
Fozzie Bear,
We'll be at tea.
the Great Gonzo,
Whoopee!
and everybody's favorite ham, Miss Piggy.
I am an actress model.
I hear this movie is dynamite.
Jim Henson's The Muppet Movie.
So it was a man named James Frawley who somehow got the gig to direct the Muppet Movie in 1979. And it does purport to be the origin story of how Kermit made the journey from his modest home in the swamps to Hollywood, where he signed a contract with Orson Welles himself for the standard rich and famous contract.
Rich and famous.
That's right. And along the way, he's going to meet all of our core Muppets and collect them and have a nice, bouncy, wonderful adventure. And it's got an amazing set of songs. I don't think any other Muppet movie came up with such a consistent bounce of, like, awesome songs. There's usually one or two really good songs, but there's no bad song in the Muppet Movie. But I think that beyond everything else, moving the Muppets from the small screen to the big screen and, you know, showing us their origin story, and these catchy songs, and everything I love about the Muppets, I gotta be sentimental about the Muppet Movie. It is 100% the heart that makes this movie special. And when I say special, 70s is considered sacred territory for cinema. It's like when cinema grew up and became, you know, legit to a lot of people. The Muppet Movie is absolutely one of the very best movies made in the 1970s. Period. End of sentence. It was an undertaking never even touched on before. Take any science fiction movie that was produced that decade, this was harder. And as far as impact, two scenes, you mentioned one of them, but I'll mention both of them right here, completely changed my life. Seeing Kermit the Frog...
I know where you're going with this.
Seeing Kermit the Frog riding a bike, full frame, top to bottom, wheels turning, legs pumping, and seeing Animal turn into a giant, drinking the magic potion, and he explodes to the roof of this house, and he roars so loud that everything in the world shakes. As a child, this was the fucking most amazing thing I'd ever seen, and it blew my mind. Just seeing Kermit below the waist and, like, dancing and riding a bike, like, it broke my understanding of reality, and I loved it so much, and I still love it so much. The scale of the just the accomplishment of making those puppets real in the real world, and the whole conceit of filling the movie with some of the biggest celebrities of the day, but all of them playing tertiary characters. The Muppets are the star of this fucking movie, right? Steve Martin can be a waiter, but the Muppets are the stars. I love this movie. I will never not love this movie. It is one of my favorite movies. Fight me.
I'm not going to fight you, Larry. I'm going to hug you. The snot out of you. You said exactly what I wanted to say. So many kids my age, everything changed when they saw Luke Skywalker blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
For me, it was when I saw Kermit the Frog ride a fucking bike. That was my cinema moment. Like, what? And still, watching it now, unbelievable. And it looks so good.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, right? I mean, he's riding it. I mean, sure, he's riding it very steadily, but man, it's one of those effects that will last forever. It will never look bad.
No.
It's just brings a smile to my face. Fozzie Bear driving his Studebaker. I mean, like, all these things, it's like, these are real people now. It's like, these are no longer puppets, guys. These are real. These are characters. And songs, you mentioned that. It's a big thing in this movie. Once the rainbow comes on the screen and you hear that banjo, at this point, we've seen it so many times, but, the banjo for the Rainbow Connection starts. And you just get those little goosebumps because you know this song. And Rainbow Connection is one of the 20 best songs of all time, probably. Maybe I haven't really put a list together, but it's
the
just
bookends. I think
anytime song.
the bookend opening of Rainbow Connection, and then to the end where it sort of revisits it with the whole life is a movie and make your own ending thing. It tells the story of the Muppets, but it's also about sort of the value of creativity and imagination and following your dreams. Like every positive message you could give a child all at the same time.
Yeah, and it's also, one thing I love about it is it's a road movie. And this was, as a young guy, this was my first introduction to a road movie. And the reason why I think I became to love road movies, shortly after that I saw National Lampoon's Vacation. Very different, but, but just, and then it goes down the line. Those style of movies where we're going to travel here, we're going to have an experience, we're going to have some fun, some laughs, but then we're going to move on. We're going to travel over here, we're going to meet new people. And it was a movie like I've never seen or understood before, and I fell in love. You're right. It's kind of how it all started. I think that's what Kermit says to. Pretty much, it's kind of how it all.
More or less.
But yeah. It's just Kermit's just playing a banjo in a swamp, and it was a Dom DeLuise. He just happens to roll by and tells him that Hollywood is auditioning for frogs next week, so you should go down there and be rich and famous. And
right place, right time.
Sidetracked on the way for a guy. Very much so. Let's go and make people. And in the end, it's Kermit's such a kind soul. I mean, his whole journey is about making friends that have the same dream as him, and his dream is to make people happy, and that's really what his whole thing is. Of course, the villain of the film is Doc Hopper, opening the chain of Frog's Lakes restaurants, and he wants Kermit to be the mascot. And then it gets really dark, though, when he realizes Kermit's not going to be the mascot. He refuses. He's like, killed a frog. There's a frog killer.
Yeah.
And as a kid, it's like...
I love the conceit, though, that there's a bounty hunter who exclusively kills frogs.
Yes.
That's a brilliant thing.
Yeah, there's a few moments that kind of twist you a bit as a kid watching it. I mean, that's one. I remember when Kermit kind of got kidnapped. That kind of worried me a little bit as a kid. After he does this little song with Rolf the dog, which is a great moment as well. When Rolf says when he's playing the piano, it's like, what does he like to do after work? I go home, drink a couple of beers, take myself for a walk, and go to bed.
Yeah.
But when Kermit kind of got kidnapped a bit there's a peril, actual peril there for a kid. And then the same in the Old West town when he comes out. We talk about riding the bike when Kermit is wearing the spurs.
Yep.
He's going to have a showdown at the end. It's another moment. Kermit's walking and nobody's around him. There's nobody holding that puppet up. It looks amazing. But you say something. I feel like I'm going to...
Well, I also wanted to mention... The thing about Kermit that makes him amazing is, there's no competition in him. He's the leader of the Muppets, but, the second he meets you, he's like, oh, I'm going to Hollywood to try and become rich and famous. You want to come with? He's just complete warmth, complete, acceptance of everyone. Yeah, you're a big purple monster with a curtain. What's that?
Except when they meet Miss Piggy. He says, you want to come have ice cream with us? Oh, yeah, I'll come to Hollywood. No, I said ice cream.
Well, Miss Piggy is the exception, but here's my thing. I would have a hard time picking my favorite Muppet, but I have no problem picking my least favorite Muppet. It is and has always been Miss Piggy. She's a bully, and the only time she's ever really funny to me is when she does her hi-ya karate moves, right? But until then, other than violence, she didn't make me laugh once until Muppets from Space, ever. I just don't. And it's weird because in the initial sort of popularity of the Muppets, Miss Piggy was a huge thing. People loved Miss Piggy. And I'm not there. I'm with you, Kermit. She's toxic. You can do better. You deserve better than Miss Piggy, Kermit. But
she's toxic.
The whole thing, running gag of the movie too, where Sweetums wanted to come along, but they missed. They had a miscommunication, so they leave without him, and he's chasing them the whole movie, trying to catch up. As a kid, I both loved and hated that, because I just wanted Sweetums to catch up and be with the rest of the Muppets. As far as the scary stuff in it, I think even as a child, I understood that nothing seriously bad was going to happen to the Muppets. But the other thing is the meta-ness. Halfway through the movie, when the characters hit their bottom, the mayhem shows up, and they've found the script to the movie. And they point out where they are in the script.
Where did you find it?
And this is the part where the mayhem rescues them, and they take them the rest of the way to Hollywood for the big finale. And, the ultra meta-ness, even in the Muppet Show and in Sesame Street, they would talk to us, but this acknowledgement of the movie, and they're going to do this moving forward in the rest of the Muppet movies too, was sort of another safety net for the kids, that we're just all having fun. This is just a big, magical, fun time. So, when they put them in the machine and he's going to turn the Kermit into a mush-brained slave... It was an exciting scene. It was not a scary scene.
No, we got Mel Brooks hamming it up there, and maybe a bit much even. But as a kid, kids don't know who all these guest stars are. But that's for the dad that took the kid to the movie. He's
exactly.
I love all these guys. And another, we talk about the vaudeville humor, and it's totally vaudeville. The song "Moving Right Along" with Kermit and Fozzie driving the car,
amazing,
is one of my favorites as well. Every time I'm on a road trip, I always put that in the queue, or else I just sing. And I do the voice when I'm singing. You have to. I don't think there'll be a time when I don't laugh at the fork in the road. If there's a time when I don't laugh at the fork in the road, that put me in the ground, because that means I'm no longer the same person I was. But that is hilarious.
For my kids, though, it was when they finally stopped. I showed them this when they were younger, and they finally stopped the car, and that was a lot of driving, and I'm not a bit tired. And then both of them instantly flop over and start snoring. For some reason, my kids thought that was the most hilarious thing they'd ever seen in their lives. But here's the essential truth, I think, about the Muppet Movie, watching it at almost 50 years old. It still moves me. It legitimately moves me at the end. Watching all the sets fall down and the weird sort of shaft of light coming down on all of the Muppets. Not just on the level of the story being told, but of the level of creativity of that. The fact that there are hundreds of people in that room making those hundreds of puppets sing in unison. The fact that, the big show doesn't go well, and it's not smooth sailing for the Muppets, and their dream is still going to be a struggle even after they sign the contract. Everything about it, still, on my 200th or 300th viewing, gets me dusty in my eyeballs. There is something magical about the Muppet Movie. And, spoilers, I said when we started this rank before we hit record that my number 1 and number 6 was easy, everything else was hard. The Muppet Movie is my favorite Muppet movie. And it's a really fucking tough act to follow.
It sure was. It was unlike anything that's come before it. It was groundbreaking in a lot of ways, really. I can't think off the top of my head anything that would rival it before 1979, but man, I've watched it so many times, and it lives and it works each time. Yeah.
Is that good enough on the Muppet Movie?
I mean, is there... the only problem is I can't think of anything negative to say.
I tried, man.
Usually you try and find one thing to kind of pick at a little bit, but here it is. I'm going to try and find one thing. Damn it, I can't. You got your cameos. One thing I want to say is, Steve Martin's cameo as the bitchy waiter is my favorite cameo of the movie, because I love Steve Martin, as I've probably made clear before, but he comes on. I don't know who chose his outfit for this movie, but it's ridiculous.
Perfect.
His shorts are way too short. His jacket is way too tight. And he's just way too bitchy. The way he plays it, I almost wonder if he was told to play it that way, or is that just a personal choice he made? Because in his movies, nobody, I've said before, nobody plays bitchy like Steve Martin, but just the way he comes out there as the waiter, he goes, "Yes, may I help you?" It's just hilarious.
It seems like he has personal contempt for serving Muppets, and he can't hide it. He's not going to be openly hostile to these people, but he's going to be as close to openly hostile as he can be without doing it. No, it's genius.
And with that comes the negative, if I have to pick one, is you got a cameo with Richard Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe that was the one where it's like, dude, you got Richard Pryor. You got so much you could do there. But I felt like that cameo maybe was a little bit wasted. Could have done a bit more than just give him balloons.
Yeah.
But that's it. So just do more with Richard Pryor. But
yeah. And even that
really,
is still kind of a joke. Like, if you have all of these celebrities and you barely use them because the stars of the Muppets, that's funny to me.
Yeah.
When I was watching it this time, like you, I was looking for something to be critical about, just because, you know, I guess I never in my life have, or even occurred to me to watch the Muppet Movie through a, quote, critical lens. And there was a little bit there where I thought, maybe if I was a kid, I would find this part of the movie a little bit slow. But then I corrected myself. I've watched this movie hundreds of times, and I never remember feeling like at any point that this movie was dragging. Like, and I think for any age category, it's pretty safe. Like, short of some of the Pixar movies, like, it's a movie you can just put in, and anybody with half a heart or brain should get behind. I hope you're winking at your wife and not me.
Oh, both of you.
I think in the interest of keeping this under a 3-hour episode, I'm going to wrap up the Muppet Movie. But is there anything you want to say about the Muppet Movie before we move on?
I love this movie right down to its soul. No, well, we've said much. There's so much more I could say, but we're going to talk longer than the length of the movie, and
Yeah.
easily.
So let's move on.